This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's Monday, October 16th, 2023, Bladen County Board of Commissioners meeting. As you can see on both sides, Dr. Ellis is having excused absence and also Ray Briggs. One is under the weather and one had an emergency come up just a few hours ago. We'll continue on without them. Hope to see them in a couple of weeks. This time I'd like to ask the Reverend Adam Self from Center Road Baptist Church to lead us in our invocation, and then County Manager Greg Martin will lead us in our faith belief.
God, thank you so much just for the opportunity to stand before your presence again this evening. We just ask you to continue to watch over each and every one of us, draw us closer to you, remind us of your authority over all things, God, and that we are here to please you above all else. Trust in you and you alone. Be with each and every one of these council members as they continue to make their decisions to lead our county. We continue to go out and bless others as well through your name. In your Son Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I motion to approve consent item. Motion to approve by Mr. Peterson, second by Mr. McGill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It don't matter. This time we'd like to recognize Veteran Services Director, Mr. Michael Osborne.
Mr. Chairman, it's our pleasure to welcome Mr. Michael Osborne as Bladen County's new Veteran Services Officer. He started several weeks ago. He is retired. He was a Master Sergeant in the United States Army. He retired last year, and he definitely is committed and passionate about helping veterans. And so we're excited for him to be on board.
Absolutely.
Welcome. Do you know what his hours are going to be? I know he's going to be part-time. Do you know what his hours will be?
Same as Slayer Hammonds.
What, like till 3:30?
Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
How many years in the military?
20 years, 1 month, 24 days.
Thank you so much. We welcome you, and we appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you, man.
All right, this time we're going to recognize employees for years of service.
Take you back.
If you have anybody with you want to bring up, bring them on. Miss Cheyenne Byer, Animal Control, 5 years. I don't think she's here.
Oh, yeah.
Next, we have Miss Susan Locklear, BSS, 5 years. I don't think she's here either. Everybody needs to be recognized whether they're here or not. Miss Dana Orr, 5 years, DSS.
I'd just like to say that we appreciate Dana and her work. She has one of the most important jobs, as they all are at DSS, but her attention to detail, her work ethic, her attendance, if we could have 4 or 5 more of her, we fill them with those new positions that are open, we'd be a fortunate town. Thank you, Dana.
Next, we have Miss Sharon Blank, 15 years. 15 years with DSS. Okay. I know Julie Coleman is not here. He's at a conference, 15 years with emergency services. Nicholas Evans, EMS, 5 years.
Just a little bit about Nick. He has been an awesome worker. We enjoy having him. He is very dedicated.
everybody wants to work with Nick. We just really enjoyed having him. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank y'all so much.
Miss Jill Burns, Register of Deeds, 15 years. Devin Montgomery, Solid Waste, 5 years.
Devin, I told him when he came in, I couldn't believe it's been 5 years. I just hired him yesterday. And he said it feels more like 20 years. All of you guys know these fellows in solid waste have worked really hard. They've been short-staffed. He's one of our truck drivers, equipment operators. They work really hard. In fact, here recently, they've been having to work some Saturdays to catch up. We're short-staffed again. We're down by 1 truck driver, so we need that truck driver, but Devin has helped make up the slack and kept things moving for us. And he says the county wouldn't throw away so much trash. His job wouldn't be quite so good.
We got some trashy people.
Thank you, guys.
Trying to clean it up. Brandon Smith, Solid Waste, 15 years. Miss Maria Evans, 10 years, administration.
Maria, we're pleased to congratulate you on 10 years of outstanding service. You have such a positive attitude and a genuine spirit of service and helpfulness. Your interactions with the public, with employees are positive, and you just have a positive impact. And we thank you for that, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Corey Alamba, Sheriff's Deputy, 5 years. Brenda Thompson, I know she's here, I saw her, 5 years. Also works for the extension.
Brenda has been with us like 5 years. She does a good job for us. She has a good attitude, and she's at work on time. She goes home on time. We're very fortunate to have her. Congratulations.
Connie Bullard, Sheriff's Office, 5 years.
Well, Connie comes in this room a minute too early, but she goes home on time. And we're very, she's got a good attitude. She's always positive, and we're very proud to have her on board. Yes, ma'am.
Alexis, Sheriff's Office, 5 years. Diamond L. Riggins, Sheriff's Office, 5 years. And last but certainly not least, we have somebody who has been employed with the county for 40 years.
Wow.
And the reason I say some of that, she had to deal with me for a lot of it. She raised me in law enforcement, sheriff, me something. He said she's raised a lot of youngins. I said, yes, and I was probably one of the roughest. They had her good and her bad, but 40 years, so. Wow. 40 years.
I don't know where to begin with Cheryl. I tell you, people in Bladen County are so fortunate to have this lady right here. And she's really been here 42 years. She started on the CETA program, and she was 13 years old, I think you are. And Sheriff Earl Shorn took a chance. He heard she was a job hopper, so he took a chance. She ended up 40 years here with us.
Wow.
And I tell you, everybody within the sheriff's office, I mean everybody, confide in this lady right here. You got a problem, you talk to her, she can't help you, refer you to Warren, Mary Warren. But I can tell you now, she is personally, she looks out for us, and professionally, she looks out for us. And she takes more time in public. I don't care what your complaint is, or how simple it may be. Cheryl will take all the time in the world, and she treats her people like royalty. And God bless her. We love her like a sister.
Thank you all.
At this time, we're going to take a short recess. We have cupcakes and some goodies next door, so, take a short recess and go over there and help yourself.
This conference will now be recorded.
Individual delegations wishing to address commissioners. Have a Cape Fear Resource Conservation and Development. Yes, ma'am. How are you tonight?
Good. How is everyone? Good. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate that. Just to give you all a very brief bit of information, Cape Fear Resource Conservation Development, we are a regional nonprofit. We've spoken with y'all before, so we appreciate y'all letting us come back. This particular project is the entire Waccamaw watershed in North Carolina. We are actually collaborating a little bit with South Carolina too to make sure our work does not extend because we really believe that the Waccamaw needs to be looked at as a whole. We wanted to make sure that you were kept in the loop of knowing that we are having community meetings coming up, and we will be having follow-up stakeholder meetings as well. This is in order to give us information from the community about what they are seeing, what is happening in their areas of the Waccamaw. We're going to have maps and opportunities to fill out information about drainage issues, flood-related issues, anything that comes in front of them or that they've seen or that they've even heard about. This is in order to inform us going forward. We're collaborating with the COGS and with the Army Corps of Engineers just to give us a much bigger picture. Cape Fear Resource Conservation and Development has actually decided to put $30,000 of our own funds in, which is a pretty substantial amount for us because we wanted to be able to prepare our documentation and really get to the community and get that information before we submitted for large grants. So we're going to be looking at pretty large, for us, large grants into the millions in order to study the Waccamaw. But that's what we wanted to do in order to better prepare ourselves for those applications in the next year or so. Walt Gray is here. He is with MS Consultants. They're our engineering partners on this particular project. And if you had any questions, we're happy to answer them. We're just really at the beginning stages of getting the information, but we did want to make sure that you were well aware and informed of where we were at and make sure that everyone had an invitation to the event. So.
I don't have anything to add. I think Danielle covered most of it, but we do have some maps showing the Waccamaw watershed in Bladen County, as well as Columbus and Brunswick. I can leave those, and then some announcement flyers that shows the public meeting location, date, and I would just encourage you, if you have constituents that live and work and recreate in the Waccamaw watershed in Bladen County, I really encourage them to come to this meeting. The more voices we hear, the more people we hear from, the better we can do our job and help provide solutions. The whole idea is to come up with a list of projects and identify some state and federal funding that could be used for mitigation in the Waccamaw watershed. So we're excited about this project, excited to partner with CFRCD and work in Bladen and Columbus County. So thank you very much.
Thank you both for coming and sharing this information. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Does this mean that the water in this basin should follow the Waccamaw River basin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. These are some announcements. Thank you. Thank you so much.
On the region.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When I look at this one right here, this lower line here, what?
That's your Columbus. Yes, sir. That's your Columbus Bladen County line.
That's the Bladen County line.
When I look at that next couple sounds on. Okay, back to
Here. You go.
those ones with the template?
The line, where you look at the watershed, they start making where.
Okay, I was trying to.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a better map.
Okay.
So.
This is just Bladen County. Yes, sir. This is just the Bladen County portion, the one you have.
Okay.
And that's where.
Here, absolutely. So there's the line and there's the watershed. Here you go.
Yes, thank you.
there's the county line and the watershed.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So, thank you, Charles Ryan. We appreciate that.
Red right here.
All right, good, thank you.
Thank you, y'all have a wonderful month.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you have any individuals or any other ones that would like to speak? Matters of interest to commissioners?
I got one thing I want to share, Mr. Esther.
Yes, sir.
Greg and I are looking at a couple of grants to hopefully, if we're successful and we find somebody to write these grants, the money will go toward replacing the culverts and the floodgates on the Kelly Dike. So, like everything else, don't get your hopes up too high. We're in the process of trying to find some way to write them grants for that.
All you can do is try. Keep the efforts there. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Next, we have Ms. Tyshell Jones, our Human Resources Director. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah.
Well, you received the information regarding, we discussed previously about longevity pay. When currently we have longevity for people who leave the county and return, after 2 years, the longevity will end. Now we're asking for you to consider proposing extending it to 5 years. So we can better align with the state. Currently, we align with the state with our retirement, and this is a great way to, keep people, retain employees, and give them that ability to retain their time or accumulate their time if they leave and come back. We have had people to leave and come back, and, that's a great way to, like I said, have people return back to us and to align with the state.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion approved by Mr. Boyd. Who is the second? Mr. Gillespie, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Grant Payne, our Parks and Recreation Director. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioner. First, I would like to thank you, Commissioners, Thank you, Bladen County Commissioners, for your dedicated support by renovating and expanding the Bladen County Park. We are prioritizing the key focus areas in the Bladen County strategic plan by the expansion and the renovation. Tonight, I wanted to come before you and give you an update on our department, what we've got going on, we've renovated our park, and now it's time to start filling it up and putting folks in it. So, next slide, please. Okay, our department, we operate and maintain 2 facilities, the Bladen County Park and the King Street Gym. Next. The park's located at 172 Doug Evans Road out on 701 South. There's some images. You see the new playground there, that's the Trillium. We just got done with a $500,000 playground. And I can honestly say every day when I'm out there working, I've never seen that much play on that playground. The parking lot is always full. There's always a school bus, a van, some sort of daycare. Someone's out there utilizing that playground. We have 2 picnic shelters we rent out to the public. We have 4 tennis courts, basketball court, 4 softball, baseball fields, 4 outdoor cages, a football, soccer, walking trail, and 2 concession stands. That's a image of the gymnasium on King Street. And that image there, you can see the new basketball goals, the new bleachers. The bottom right photo, you can see that that's the new restroom entrance to the left and right men's and women's room. That has been a lifesaver. That's kind of helped our department not be so embarrassed to have folks use the restroom. So thank you. Our programs, we design, implement, and organize various youth and adult recreation programs in our county. This year, our top soccer numbers were 95. We had 8 teams. We gained 6 kids. So that program there is busting out the seams. That's for ages 3 and 4 year olds. And that is a really, really tough program to watch. This year, our soccer program, we're at 351. We dropped a little bit, but there's a few other programs going on right now. I think between football, soccer, and I think there's some baseball being played. That's not a bad number to be. It's not bad. That's really not bad. And if any program could take a hit, that's one that could take a hit. Our flag football, that's the one that really took the end of the stick. It's down big time, but that's the age group. I think a lot of them are playing travel baseball now, and there's some fall leagues started up. Our tackle football, same situation. You can see that numbers. It's down with 20 kids. The good news is 2 years ago there was no tackle football, so we're happy to have kids in shoulder pads and helmets. Cheerleading, you see, it's about the same, about 20 kids, 21. Next slide. Volleyball, that number's not up there right yet because we just ended our registration for the youth volleyball, but I can tell you that number 121, it will be higher than 121. That's a growing number. With the renovations to the gym, that allows us to do a lot more things. You know, we're able to get in there and do some stuff with volleyball. Basketball, that's a pretty big program for us, our winter program. Those goals that you see, that's the old goals right there. We used to have to hang backboards and rims on top of that. And I prayed every night before I went home, please God, don't let these things fall tonight, because it was not safe. But we've done everything in our power to make it safe, but it's still, our new goals, we're able to lower them and raise them. That's awesome. Thank you. Blast ball, that's our cat herding program. If you ever want to see a kid playing dirt, come out to the county park on that night. You can see a little kid in the right in the middle. They love the dirt. But that's a 3- and 4-year-old program also, 3 to 5, but we don't have a lot of 5s. They usually move up to the coach pitch by that age. Softball, that's another one of our big programs. You can see it took a little bit of a fall, but we had another softball league start up in Bladen County this last season, which that's awesome. It's a community-based thing. It's going good for them, so hats off to them. We're still holding strong with 11 teams up. Baseball, we're up 4 teams. That's amazing because Dixie Boys baseball, 13 and 14-year-old kids, it was down for, you see back in 21, we had 34 kids, now we're 51, so we're glad that that's picking back up. And coming up, we have our co-ed adult volleyball. That'll be coming up that'll be right after February, about March, we'll offer co-ed volleyball. We usually have about 5 adult teams. And there's the facilities that's rentable, King Street Gym, the athletic fields, and our shelters. And our future plans, we're wanting to offer an adult kickball league, an adult cornhole league, and we're in the process right now. We're on the books with 2 travel ball organizations, Top Gun and USSSA, to host travel ball softball tournaments out at the county park to try to bring in some revenue outside coming in to our county. But I will tell you, we've been on their schedule before, and it did not work out. But this time, we really emphasized that we want something to happen, whether it be a 1-day or a 2-day, whatever we can get a tournament. Do you have any? Also, I want to thank you, commissioners, for the personnel. We were able to add a person in our department. That is helping our department, and we're even going to expand on those programs that we just mentioned. There's other things on our agenda or radar.
All right, Josh, person. I know this town, I see them hosting like tournaments and stuff up here. And I know Mark said here he works with that. What's the probability of some type of promotion that we do at the county park like that? Is that something that's difficult to do? I'm asking. I know they do it in the next year.
That's a state, and that's a state, they're in a national organization, Dixie Youth franchise. We can do it with our Dixie Boys program and our softball. So we can, yes, sir, we're definitely looking to host those local states.
That's why I'm trying to figure out, could you hold something that was like, I just see so many people out there.
There's a lot more of those teams in this state than there are in the girls in the on what we play in Little Tar Heel.
Any,
Yes, ma'am.
any idea about, consider pickleball? Can it be something that most people are getting into pickleball?
Pickleball, oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Right now, this past budget, thank you again. We were approved for a part of grant. So we're renovating our we're hoping to we're going to renovate our tennis courts. And we're planning on putting 4 pickleball courts on our existing courts. And that would be definitely, but I can't offer it yet. We don't.
I got you, but still.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I got my phone call.
Hello, right now.
Randy, for your information, Dixie Youth has split from Dixie Girls Softball. They've started their own league, a softball league. It's called Diamond Softball League. So you can look into that.
Okay.
I got the information on it.
Yeah, can you get it to me?
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
They put it on it this past.
For the two.
Yeah, the two are split from Dixie Girls Softball. They're starting their own Diamond Softball League. That's another league you get into.
So I'll follow up. So I know the numbers look really good and there's a lot to be proud of and thank you for what you're doing. But since I know that Tar Heel and Blamer has branched out a little bit on their own and Mark has they've been branched out. I mean, if there was some way that the county could somehow partner with those organizations, it would improve the recreation of Bladen County if there's any way to partner. I don't know if there is or not. So I sit here this morning after I read this thing, and I was thinking about some things for you to consider that I think would be good for we give you another employee, and that other employee was supposed to free up for more programming and stuff. But I think it's important that these soccers and all this basketball, I think there needs to be clinics for coaches and players. I know you struggle with getting umpires, but I think if we could, I'm not telling you what to do now, so if I say something, it's not directly asking to do, I'm just throwing my suggestions out there. If there was some way that we could start scheduling and have a clinic in there before they play, I think that's good. A lot of counties are doing that. And a lot of people feed off these feeder programs and stuff, so sometimes you have to think coaches don't know a whole lot about it, but if they could get just a day or two and even with pay instructors to do it, bring it back to us and let's do it, or let's consider it.
That's been brought, someone else has brought that up in the county.
Yeah, and I think y'all work with Special Olympics, don't you, man? Somewhat.
We do. When they call, we help. Yeah. But I think the schools have taken that over. They've tried to take that over for the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years.
So I know for a year or two, before COVID, we did summer recreation. I'd have to see some of that come back, or at least the opportunity to see if there's interest in that.
Like we did before, the summer program.
And I know that used to be, I don't know how many people play adult softball or women's softball. But I would love to see, I'd love to see that somewhere on the calendar somewhere or another, because I think that's important. I know they play church ball, and I know Galilee and Hicks Grove plays in the Robinson County, but they do play some of the games in Blameboro. Maybe there's opportunity there, or maybe there's opportunity to have those teams. I was thinking about the tennis courts, and I know you're going to change so to be. I think it's going to be dual pickle and tennis. Those tennis courts out there, and I don't know if there's something you could have like the tennis teams or stuff, that could generate interest around those tennis courts. I just think that we spend a lot of money out there, and I think I speak for all the commissioners.
we want to show that place off, and we really want to have a training field for these younger kids and give the adult population something to do in Bladen County, because there's nothing to do. And just take that for consideration, please.
Got it. We'll definitely look into that.
Hey, what else? Yeah, the adult softball thing has really been ringing lately. I was at the ballpark last night, and I got hit about 3 or 4 different people looking for something to do. I think it's because they're playing fall. Their kids are playing ball. Now they want to get involved and play ball. So I think you got some interest in having that league.
We've talked about a co-ed league, but the problem is the men hit the ball a lot harder than the women.
Yeah. But, and there have been some senior citizens, 50, it used to be 55 and over, I think, a long time ago.
We've offered it, but
Nobody's interested in it?
you don't have but 4 sign up, and then you're. But we could offer a co-ed. The way to go with the softball is to do a co-ed and find some way the ball could be compressed.
That co-ed is too dangerous for women. I went to a softball game, I used to play all the time. I went the other day, and the men's played, they got a screen out with pictures of mine.
They have to know.
I didn't even know that.
They have rules set up where ex-player can play, but it's set up to where it's done where safety's first priority.
Me and Grant's talked about the coaching clinic, because we're having the same problem in DCU. He said he was going to get with the West Bladen baseball coach and see if they can organize something to get some training in baseball. And he could do the same thing in soccer, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Rainer.
I think Jay Rainer will do it for you.
There's West Bladen will do it, and he's good soccer referees, I'm sure, to teach.
Joe Luther, that's one you can,
I think that would help.
Macon Hammond, we could probably get him involved.
What's the only thing I got, Grant? I see a lot of the kids want to go out to the park. And my thing is the security or supervision out there. That's the thing that kind of gets me. I go out there sometimes, and you see some of the guys that's older guys, some of the younger guys, and they have that takeover mentality, you see what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out how do we accommodate everybody. I don't know, you can't put officers out there, but some kind of way like to fix it where everybody can be out there kind of comfortable without having conflict out there at the field. Like if they
At all fields?
I've been out there sometimes, be a bunch of them out there. And I look around and see no adults out there, nobody. Just who's out there on the field because it's open play. But there's no one there to be supervising what's going on.
Talking like a park ranger or something inside the park.
Nobody's out there. When they're out there, the kids is out there playing free willing by themselves. You can hear some words that they're talking out the streets and getting comfortable. You say, what in the world?
I've been out there.
Just trying to figure out, can we slow that down? Because some people don't want the kids in that environment, or you be kind of a little leery about the kids being in that kind of environment. I don't know whether it's a solution to it or not, but I agree.
That's been I've been here for 25 years. That's an ongoing. That's why the basketball courts were moved from the location of where they were, because they hear language and the tennis clientele, they get upset. So we kind of tried to move it.
That's the thing got me when I go out there. I sit there and look and say, ain't nobody out there, but there's a bunch of kids.
And it's not only basketball. And I'm just saying that was an example. I mean, just.
I didn't know was any way to monitor that, because this guy knows.
Then we put it right beside the soccer field.
Oh, we can do nothing with it, but I guess I did something.
The parents start going out there with them.
That's 90%
of it. They just, some of them will drop them off and let them, and then that's not what we want. We want the child supervised.
I ain't know about no solution. Y'all ain't looking at it. I live there now, it get kind of tough out there. What in the world?
Right now, they're playing out there tonight, and there's a lot of folks out there that far.
Just one question. At the King Street Gym, the skate park, I'm certainly not a skateboarder, but I know that's fairly frequent. Who maintains it? Who keeps it clean? Is it the town or?
The town.
I hear that sometimes the kids go out there and they're trying to sweep it off, and there's acorns and leaves and all. So, that's a pretty big deal for those that are into that, something that sort of.
It's busy, it stays.
Somebody needs to, we need to make sure it's kept.
They do that. Yeah. But when they first built that, the skateboarders said that they would help maintain it because they wanted that bad. That was kind of a mutual agreement. Y'all help take care of it and clean it, but that's why they're out there doing it. Because they want to play it. We can't, they don't have much manpower. And so it's kind of a mutual thing. It's their skate park, they help keep it clean. So like us, we use the park, but we also pick up paper. We also, do the fields. So that's what the town's doing. They don't have a full-time recreation department.
I was thinking maybe the safety issues if somebody did get hurt,
Well, once again, first week it was up, somebody broke the wrist on it. Yeah. They just assume your liability when you go out there.
They got a liability sign right there.
Yeah.
So, I don't. But if that's on camera, if he's out of town in the morning, that's the topic of the chamber in the morning.
What's that?
Skate park.
The bill one?
Someone's coming in to talk about it.
Most play areas are play at your own risk.
Yeah, it's got a big sign. Yeah.
We have signage up on all of our facilities, but it's still, you don't want nobody to get hurt. That's.
All right, moving on to item D. We authorize the staff to pursue the development of the lease agreement for Bladen County.
Must approve. Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Peterson, second by Mr. Cogdale. Any discussion?
Now, what is this? This is for the,
For the Bladen County.
is that group over there gonna take over?
Go ahead.
The Bladenboro Recreation, they have a recreation committee now that they expressed interest a while back, wanting to take over the operation and continue to run it and maintain it. We're getting to a point with that facility where we don't own the building and there's some work need to be done. It just, the better fit is for them.
They're ready to do it.
They're ready, they are.
They requested an action.
The only holdup is the lease. In that letter I sent, or the letter I received, the discussion I had with Mr. Proctor was, and a board, one of their regular commissioners, we could lease them the equipment for $1 a year, and that way we still own it. We still have our ownership of the equipment, but that's y'all just call that.
There's no way, you might as well give them the stuff, if most machines don't work, and why you want to lease?
Well,
just write it off and.
That's the thing, how much of that stuff do you need that you really could use that's in that home?
Me and one of our staff members, we're going over there probably one day this week to pick up, there's a couple of player benches that we would definitely need for our park. And there's one screen, but other than that, we don't have anywhere we can store 4 rolls of AstroTurf, 4 batting cages. We don't have anywhere.
It'd be in the best interest for you to get those items and just let the rest of it go. Is that your recommendation?
Just lease the facility for $1.
No, we usually lease it.
They own it, so we gonna.
They own it.
Do away with the complete lease and everything? Sure. They pay us $1 lease for, we pay them $1 lease for the building.
We used to lease it for $1.
$1 back in that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's asking in here though, that the town of Bladenboro would like to offer to lease the batting cage. So you're saying just give them that and be done with it.
If we're not able to use it. It's just $1 a year.
I know that. So my point is.
That was.
That's
So
what
we'll come back at the next meeting with that type.
Okay.
All right.
We're not making that decision.
Okay.
You'll have to be surplus.
All right, thank you.
Right now, the motion is that we keep the lease in place.
Yeah.
But,
We can come back and address it at that time, but basically we're all in agreement to like I said, lease the batting cages and get rid of the contract with the town of Bladen. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
What did we vote on then?
We voted.
I mean, we're gonna come back next week with the real lease.
He was just trying to get direction tonight, if that's the direction you want to move it.
Right. I'll get them now. It'll be a signed off lease for your signature or not, well, and we'll go forward to they will start back.
I think, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Advisory Board appointments, Ammon Fire Service District Committee.
Reappoint.
Have a motion reappointed by Mr. McGill, second by Mr. Cogdale. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Economic Development Commission.
Motion to appoint. I talked to David and he says he's just too busy now, so he does want to come off. So I make a motion to put Terry Nance on there and put, Chanel Harris, the new town manager in Kelsey's place. For town of Bloodburn.
I second it.
That was a motion by Mr. Peterson, second by Dr. Mongolian. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Industrial Facilities and Pollution Control Financing Authority.
Reappoint Ms. Joyce.
Motion.
Second.
She has denied reappointment.
Joyce what?
I
I ain't
was
seen.
in it. Is that? She did. She declined.
I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
Motion to table.
Motion tabled by Mr. Gillespie, second by Mr. Bullock. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Opioid Steering Committee.
Motion table.
Motion tabled by Mr. Peterson.
Second.
Second by Dr. Mongolian. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? See, we have some coming up at our next two meetings. Be ready for those. Next, we have an update regarding our ARPA and ABLE project reports. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir. We wanted
DD Burns.
to be sure that you were, had the opportunity to see the reports that have come in. There are still some outstanding that we're working on those. And then just to let you know, we anticipate the $150,000 that was for workforce housing is not anticipated to be needed now. That was money that was retained with the county because of the funding in the state budget, so that's $150,000. And then you all know that $171,000 at the last time ARPA was discussed was set aside in the to be determined account. So that's $321,000 at this point that we know of that can be allocated in different ways as you all see fit. We're still waiting to hear from Star Telephone is still waiting to hear. They're having to revise their grade grant to take into account the territory that Spectrum was funded for in Bladen County. So they are revising their grant application. They still hope to hear back by Thanksgiving. And if that's funded, then that could potentially free up about $535,000 or so additional dollars that, but we'll know, hopefully know by the end.
I'd like to make a motion, when we first started this, ARP money, there was a motion made for, Bladenburg Historical Society and Spalman Road to get some more money if it come available. That money's come available, and I would ask that it be set aside so they can get their application in, and then we'll review it.
I say.
Motion by Mr.
Well, we
Peterson.
voting on the money or not? Is that the motion on the money or the application coming?
Wait for that. Free up the money for their applications that's done.
Why is it not open for everybody then? Is it for application for everybody?
This motion was made and it's on the books
Yeah, it was
a long time ago.
Months ago.
I mean, when we first did ARPA money. I'm just bringing it back up because there's money free, and then hopefully there'll still be some money free. We'll do other things.
All right. A motion by Mr. Peterson, second by Mr. Gillespie. Any discussion?
What was the money amount?
Yeah.
You have any amounts, Mr.
I
Peterson?
don't really know for sure.
I remember 20,000 from somebody. I remember that.
No, it's a whole lot more than that.
How
How much are you talking about though?
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
We just fix the application
Yeah,
process.
we just figure it out.
And then we'll see what's on the application, then we can go away from there.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Just one question.
Yes, sir.
I know, there was some talk in the community about MRO maybe requesting, as did Paul R. Brown. So is that something we just kind of need to be aware of, that they may?
We did send them copy of the CIP information so that hopefully if they know of capital projects over the course of the next 5 years, they'll have the opportunity to share that.
I just think we just need to be aware of that. That may be another request that's coming. How much, I don't know.
You said it's $535 taken care of from the.
Approximately, it's a little over 500. I think it may be 535.
How probability that it's gonna clear out?
I hope. I don't know. Yeah, I hope so.
So that brings the total up to 800,000? 321 and 535, whatever that is. That's around that $900,000.
Outside playground, good.
All right, next, Mr. Martin, calendar review.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to begin with October and November. Point out that tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. there's a big advisory committee meeting at the Ag Center. Also at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the chamber meets at the farmers market here in town. On Wednesday, the 18th, from 1 until 3, there's a blood drive being hosted by Cape Fear Valley and takes place at 501 South Poplar Street, which may be a hospital. On Thursday, the 19th, at 5:45, the Lumber River Council of Governments Annual Dinner will take place. On Saturday, the 21st, from 10 until 2, the Fall Festival event at Jones Lake will be held. Also that day, from 11 until 2, there's a fish fry fundraiser at the Clarkson Town Depot to benefit residents who lost the home fire. Also on Monday, the 23rd at 6 p.m., there's a Halloween party at Bridger Memorial Library. On Tuesday, the 24th, from 9:30 till 3 p.m., the Area 7 Soil and Water Conservation District's regular meeting will take place at Vineland Station in Whiteville. That evening, from 6:30 until 8, there's a trunk or treat event that will take place at the Bladen County Public Library in Elizabethtown. On Thursday, the 26th at 6 p.m., there's a spooky campfire stories event that will take place at the Clarkson Public Library. On Friday, the 27th, from 6 until 10, the 16th Annual Beast Fest event will begin. And that will continue Saturday, the 28th, from 10 until 5. On Tuesday, the 31st, from 6 until 8 p.m., there's a Trucks and Treats event that will be held at the Clarkson Fire Department. Moving over to November, Saturday, the 4th, from 9 until 2, there's a blood drive at First Baptist Church in Clarkson. There's a prayer service here on Monday, the 6th, at 8 a.m. The board meets that evening at 6:30. County offices will be closed on Friday, the 10th, in observance of Veterans Day holiday. There is a Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting on Monday, the 13th, at 5 p.m. Department. On Tuesday, the 14th, the Board of Elections meets their office. On Thursday, the 16th, the Waccamaw River Drainage Study meeting will take place at the Whiteville Hall. On Monday, the 20th, at 6:30 p.m., the board meets here, and offices will be closed on Thursday and Friday, the 23rd and 24th. Then moving to item B, I just want to provide an overview of the financial dashboard, and this is for the 3-month period ending September 30th. So it's 25% of the fiscal year. In the general fund, revenues total 40.23%. Expenditures total 32.9%. In the solid waste fund, revenues total 32.03%, and expenditures 23.26%. Emergency telephone fund, revenues 3.91%, expenditures 10.45%. The water fund, revenues total 28.37%, and expenditures total 11.63%. As far as the federal inmate program, for the first 3 months of the year, the daily average has been 79.51, and there are currently 90. As of this report, there were 90 patients at jail, so that's wonderful. There are no questions about that. Moving to item C, I wanted to share an email that we received last week regarding a feasibility study that's going to take place related to the 4-laning of Highway 87 from 7476 to the Elizabethtown bypass. So you all know years ago that, or you may recall that was on the burner in terms of planning and that type of thing. However, think it was in 2016, they changed the funding formula. Kind of just pushed it way back. So it's promising just to hear that they're doing a feasibility study on it. I hope it'll lead to something positive. The town has already submitted a letter of support. We will do that tomorrow, so share that with you.
Who will you send the people to that?
The Mid Carolina Council of Governments, Mike Rutan at the Mid Carolina Council of Governments, they do our rural planning organization, the transportation for our area.
Can we send that letter of support to the legislative people? Can we do that?
Certainly.
I'm saying, like, some of these towns, we need to send those guys a letter that's on the burner, so to get where it needs to go, election coming up.
Yeah.
Right. We might send that up,
We
get
can,
that priority.
we can send it. Well, we've sent numerous letters over the years.
Send it to them, tell me, we got to put it back on the forefront.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
maybe someone needs to call these industries that's, like Bunker Moore and all them that use all these containers. And they can write a letter instead of going down 95 to come pay the tip and use our Wilmington for it.
That's a good call.
That's right. You definitely write some letters. Do everything we can to push this and get back on the burner.
Yeah, a lot of companies, it's usually cargoes, a lot of them going to Charleston.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
All right, sir. Individual delegations we should address commissioners. Matters of interest to commissioners.
I want to give a report on the Substance Abuse Task Force Behavioral Health Fair we had last Thursday. Very, very disappointing. I think there was 5 providers. There was maybe 5 people that attended, and take Terry and Greg and myself away, and you got 2 people. And I'm telling you, people, you need to get serious about these opioids and this fentanyl stuff. You need to get behind this. There's help out there for people that's doing it. You don't need to sit back. Let's let people die, children die. You need to get involved. That's my soapbox.
I've asked Mr. Martin if someone to have an update on the housing grant. Anything?
No, we were
Because
talking
it's
about
due.
that, Mr. Cognell.
What is coming up?
We're supposed to hear in October, so hopefully we'll have.
We'll get it all.
As soon as we hear, we'll let you know, that's for sure.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Peterson, second by Mr. Gill. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.